Hello, welcome in. Welcome to LettiSpeaks. Thank you for stopping by today. If you are new to my channel, welcome. It is a pleasure to have you here. Please take a moment to like, share, subscribe. And if you subscribe, if you're a new subscriber, make sure that you hit the bell, so that you will be notified of new content when it comes out, and so you'll be notified when I go live, right? Give me 1 second. So if you're returning, welcome back. Thank you for stopping back by. So today we're going to do just a general read to get a feel for what is like in the energy today. Today I'll be using a couple of oracle decks along with a couple of my tarot decks to pull the energy. And so, yeah, welcome in. All right, let's see what's happening today on the latter half of the week, right? Also the latter half of the month as well. And so hopefully things are looking up. I know we're in a heavy season. It's a heavy season. And so there's a lot of things that are probably testing our patience right now, testing our resolve, testing our values and beliefs. And so, but let's see what comes out for us, okay? Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you, okay? Yeah. So let's take a look here. If you are new to the channel or returning, I guess you could be returning too, and you find that the reading here does not resonate, you can always go back to other readings. Sometimes I'll do sign readings. Sometimes I will even do specific readings around certain topics. But if you find that you're looking for something a little bit more customized to your personal energy, you can go down to my description box and click on the box and schedule. You can always schedule a personal reading, okay? Thank you so much for your support. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. I'll most likely go live tomorrow night. I love going live because it gives me an opportunity to kind of meet you all and talk to you all. And it's always a pleasure to do that as well. And so the energies that came out is sensuality. I'm using my Priestess Light deck. Precognition, idyllic times, and soul radiance, okay? Okay, so first off with the sensuality card, as you can see, she's being embraced or overshadowed by the energy of a tiger. And so this particular time that we're in right now may in fact be a time where you are feeling a little bit more into your feminine power and passion. This is about allowing yourself to feel the senses and experience what the senses have to offer. And so that would mean like allowing your sight, looking at things that are pleasing to the eye, allowing yourself to smell things that, you know, cause a very sensual reaction within your body, allowing yourself to touch to feel, to hear, things that are delightful, things that you enjoy. This is calling you in to allow yourself to experience sensuality. This may very well be a time where the feminine is stepping into her power through her femininity. And it really is a very gentle, subtle power that is actually pretty powerful and pretty strong. This may be a time where you are actually engaging more with family, doing family things and connecting in that way. It may also be a time of allowing yourself to step into things like nature, connecting with nature. This is pointing to the energy of the tiger. I'm thinking of a tiger. Qualities of a tiger is that they hunt at night, right? It's a very nocturnal creature. And so you may in fact be coming into a time, if you are not already, where you're going to start engaging more in nighttime activities, or even allowing yourself social outgoings, or whether it's social or professional, it's being more engaging at nighttime. It's almost like a more adventurous energy that I'm feeling here. And so, yeah, this may in fact be something that you are stepping into. This may be something that you're already experiencing right now. And for cognitive or cognition, and so the first thing sticking out about this card for me is the blue hue in the background, which tells me this is really connecting to the upper regions of our energy centers, throat chakra, third eye, and the crown chakra. I feel like you're definitely stepping into more of your psychic abilities, right? There's more of a connection coming in where you could be actually experiencing information coming through. You could even be having like precognition, right? Future visions of things to come. Right now, you are experiencing a heightened level of awareness, a deeper level of connection, which is why all of these things are starting to come through. There may have been a time where you were experiencing like a little tinkle here, a little there, but I feel like almost as if you would open up a gateway wider so more can come through. Yeah. And so this is really a time to dig into things like meditation, right? So you can have clarity. As you can look, she has her hand out, and there's like the receiving or the asking of connecting, and her hand out, and there's like a connection with this very elusive energy in front of her, right? And so, and then there's the little headdress, there's the ego, right? And the ego many times represents soaring, like a higher level of location, right? The eagle soars high, therefore they're able to see from a higher point of view, from a larger distance, and even a greater bandwidth is what I'm hearing. And so, yeah, this headdress of the ego is helping her to reach higher levels of consciousness and expanding the psychism or the future vision, right? And so the headdress represents the crown chakra and the connection, the messaging, the exchange of information, right? Almost like a connective device. Because you see this little, it's almost like some type of connection coming out of her headdress or out of her crown area, that energy center. And so this is saying that you are now able to reach higher heights, and your intuition and your cognitive abilities have expanded, right? You may already notice this and are getting those flashes of insights, of deeper awareness. So whatever that is, Spirit is wanting you to trust that and not to second guess it. This is a time to really hone in on what it is that you're receiving, what it is that you're experiencing, and Spirit wants you to trust that, okay? Because there may actually be important messages coming in for you. These messages may be guiding around specific things that are happening in your life right now. These could be around choices or inspiration around like things related to career, personal choices that you're facing right now. This could be around projects or something that you're doing right now. And so this is a good time to really trust yourself. And again, meditation is paramount, right? Because that's where the clarity is going to come in, through the consistent connection. And so if you are not engaged in a daily practice around mindfulness or something that's going to place you in a position where you're able to get still and get quiet and tune into your inner presence, that's necessary, okay? And then we also have idyllic times. And idyllic times is, it's almost like the energy that Spirit is leading us into right now. The sacred garden or the paradise, right? It's your secret place where you go to cultivate stillness within yourself. And she has an owl behind her, and she's holding a butterfly. And so this is a portrait of a time of like peace and joy coming your way. And I think this is really significant, especially in this day and time that we're in. See the owl behind her, and she's holding the butterfly, right? This may also kind of introduce a long-awaited blessing coming your way as well. Something maybe that you've been expecting. This is like Spirit announcing to you that whatever that long-awaited thing is that you have extended yourself for. You may have been working towards this for a long time and really, manifesting this in. This is a time where this is coming your way. This is your confirmation that this thing that you've been waiting for is coming your way. Now, the butterfly in particular is a reminder of something new being born out of the process, right? It's that energy of metamorphosis. As the caterpillar changes from one thing and evolves into another, right? Through that alchemical process, that's what the butterfly represents. This intense transformation. So you may in fact have just come out of some experience where it has been very trying. It has been difficult. There may have been times where you were threatening to just say, what, I don't know if this is worth it, and just putting everything down and moving on to something else easier. But Spirit is confirming that it's a good thing that you did not, because you've reached your point where you're about to see that thing come to pass, or the completion of this thing, or the total transformation. And I'm hearing like a bell, like ding, when your dinner's ready and someone taps the bell and it's like, ding, come and get it. I'm hearing that right now. And so that's what the butterfly represents. It's the beauty that you are receiving as a result of the hardships that you have had. And as a result of the determination that you have exemplified, and, you know, the resilience and just not giving up, you know. And so being able to see the fruit of your labors, you know, and for some of you, this could be pleasant experiences coming your way. You know, it could be, you know, peaceful surroundings. You may just look up one day and realize, wow, I don't have a care in the world. Wow, things are so quiet right now. I don't have a complaint in my body. You know, it may even be just settling into a moment where everything is completely peaceful. That's why this card is idyllic times, talking about the garden and paradise, right? And so it also could be for someone who may be about to go on some type of trip, or even moving to a different place. You know, it's almost, I'm imagining a very green, a very natural, fresh air, just a very scenic place, whether it's vacation, whether it's moving. You know, I'm picturing this. So someone is about to travel in some type of way, whether it's short term, whether it's a permanent relocation. I'm sensing there is some type of picturesque or lush environment that you will be experiencing here. You may be seeing lots of owls in this environment. You may be seeing lots of butterflies in the environment, either or. Yeah. And so this is the promise of something beautiful coming towards you. And it feels very natural, very beautiful, like trees, flowers, birds, animals, and just very relaxing. And it feels like it's something to do with the natural world. And then I also have soul radiance. And this is also a forward-looking energy concerning what's coming towards you. I feel like for whoever is resonating with this, you're coming into a time, again, that is going to be a reflection of what it is that you've just been through. Now, for soul radiance, the description of this card is the Phoenix rising, right? We know what the Phoenix rising is. It's the bird that rises out of the fire time and time and time again. Like, no matter how many times there is an ego death, like there's a rising out of that fire, wiser, stronger, more resilient, more beautiful than when you went in, right? And this fire could represent relationships. It could represent finances or work, or it could represent health issues. It could represent pretty much anything in varying degrees, right? It may have been just a long, dry spell of time where it seemed like nothing was moving, nothing was happening for you, where you were just waiting for change and resolution to come, and it felt like nothing was happening. Well, Spirit is announcing here that those times are coming to an end for you. Something very different is arising here. A newfound sense of freedom, you know, and it's reminding you, even in those times, I feel like this could have been a very transformational time that you're coming out of, where the lesson has been freedom truly lies within us. It's not about the external circumstances, but it really is, it has always been within. And so I feel like that has been the transformational message of this place where you are about to come out of, that's about to come to an end. And so, and Spirit is also saying, remember the truth and the presence that you experienced in this time that you are coming out of. I feel like there is a deep transformational experience that you just had. And Spirit is saying, remember that. This has been very pivotal in your journey. And you are going to need to remember that place. You're going to need to remember how to get back to that place where you were just in, where you were cultivating that deeper inner strength within you. You're going to need to remember how to get there. And so Spirit is saying, remember that. Yeah. Meditation is it's completely something that cannot be overlooked with this process, with what we're talking about here. Because that's what's going to really tap us into our divine frequency and help us to rise above what's going on down here. And so meditation is huge, okay? And so that's what I'm feeling is coming in for us, or for some of us, we may very well be identifying with these things right now as well. Okay, and so let's head over to the tarot, okay? I'm using my Muse tarot deck. And so let's take a look and see what's going on here. So let's take a look into the energies around the message being brought out here. So help us look into this, Spirit, as we look into more information here. And if you are enjoying this message so far, please take a moment to go down and hit the like button. Also comment. It's okay to let me know like how this is resonating for you. If indeed it is resonating, please share that. It's always encouraging to see how this energy is resonating with those who are watching it. Also, if you are new to the channel, feel free to go ahead and subscribe. If you do, hit the bell so you'll be notified whenever new videos come out, okay? With the World card, I feel like there's, again, the energies that we're feeling with the Oracle card. There's something that you're coming out of right now. There is something that has just ended. Maybe a major cycle in your life that you're just now being able to kind of finish and head on to another lesson or another part of your journey. I feel like something is ending. There could be closing of doors. There could be walking away from jobs that you've been on and kind of wrestling with for a while, and Spirit is opening up a new door for you to step into something new. This could also be around relationships or seasons, just basic seasons in life, I feel like. And this has really been a pivotal point. Again, I'm getting that energy, especially with the World, because the World talks about, you know, having these very specific experiences that lead us up to a place of completion. lessons, of cycles, of parts of our journey. But they're important lessons that we're learning, lessons that we're in fact going to need further along the way on this journey. And so the world gives that energy as well. It's almost like you have a bag that you're carrying. And in that bag is all of the lessons and the experiences that you will now have the opportunity to turn into wisdom as you move forward. And as you move forward, there is a higher level of operation happening where that wisdom is going to be needed. And so don't take for granted anything that you've been through, because it has all been purposeful, is what Spirit is saying. Yeah. It's almost like moving to a master level, right? Graduating and now ready to put into practice what you've learned at a higher level of operation. Okay. Let's keep going. And then we have the Queen of Materials. Now, more recently, you've now come into a very stable point. I feel like you could be feeling more stable than you have been in a long time, right? You've been possibly struggling, feeling a little off kilter. Well, now you've come into, or you're feeling more balanced, more secure. You may even be feeling more, a little bit more on the up and up, right? Whereas times where we're struggling, it may put a damper on parts of our self-esteem. I feel like now you're like, okay, this is feeling, I can do this. I can do this, right? That may be kind of what you're stepping into for yourself. And I feel like the Queen of Pentacles is definitely prepared, right? The Queen of Pentacles is very tapped in and grounded, aware of her surroundings. She is one who takes note of what's coming in and going out. Not a control freak, but has a very good sense of control with what's going on around her because she's tapped in that way. This does carry a bit of nurturing energy. And so this could be, for some of you, someone that has supported you in that way, that's brought this level of stability in for you. You could be that energy for others. Now that you've stepped up into this new energy, this new season, you could very well be being viewed in this way, as having something that someone or people around you need, right? And people may very well be coming to you for advice, or it could even be for, other types of support as well. The Queen of Pentacles is someone who is resourceful and someone who others see in that way as well, right? She doesn't have to get ready because she stays ready, right? And so you may very well find yourself in this energy. You may have the support of someone who is in this energy. And so this is like the more recent, like you may be feeling this way today or having experiences bringing in this energy today. Like this is, or it could have been a couple of days ago, And so it's a closer look at the kind of what's happening around you within the energy. Yeah. The King of Cups. And so again, stable energy. This is you right now. right where you are right now. You're feeling very stable, very confident. Even I feel a level of creativity with where you are right now. It's vibing, you know, with where you are, with what you have, and being very creative with it. Stepping out in ways, feeling very, what is the word? Feeling very and looking very interesting, very different. Like there's something different about you. And I'm not necessarily pulling on quirky energy, but it's more like what is the word? Oh my gosh, I'm tongue-tied. Interesting, because I can't think of the other word, but it's a very interesting energy that you are in right now, that you're being viewed in. And it has placed you in that energy where people are viewing you that way as well. As someone who is very tapped in, very balanced, may even be exuding signs of, you know, having a very leveled connection with your higher self, with source. Someone very intuitive around what they do and how they do it and who they're doing it with, right? So this is you right now, the King of Cups energy. Very settled, very centered and controlled. It almost carries like a father-like energy. For some, it could mean that, but as a feminine, you could also sit in this energy, meaning that you are mastering your emotions and how you feel about what's happening around you. It's almost like you are the creator of your circumstances right now. And so nothing is really tripping you up or shifting you off balance. You're mastering where you are right now. And it feels good. And you look good doing it. You make it look easy. Now, for some of you with the Nine of Cups, this could be you not even recognizing like where you are right now and realizing that you've just come out of one of the most challenging times of your life. You may not recognize that you've stepped into another season, into another part of your journey where you're being activated and where you've been given everything you need to operate in that office that you've been given. As you can see with the Nine of Cups here, she's surrounded with all of these cups. All of the cups around her that's floating represents some aspect of her abundance, things within her that she has to pull from to operate in ways without her, to be effective in the world. And you may not even realize. This card is saying and telling me that you may not even realize that you've stepped into this abundance. But Spirit is telling you right now, right here today, that you have. Sometimes all we need to do is like really wipe our eyes and open our eyes again and take a look around again. Spirit is saying, take a look again. Because you have actually stepped into a new season of your life. Whether you realize that or not, you have. So let's see. Yeah, so Spirit is saying it's time to really awaken. Oh, this awakening card is really the Judgment. And what the Judgment represents is decisive action, or just making a decision about something, which way you're going to go. In this case, I feel like, number one, it's awakening to what's really happening. That's the beginning steps of really moving forward from here, from this point forward, especially if you're someone that hasn't even realized that you just stepped out of this last season that you were in and you're stepping forward into something new. First, realize that you are in a new season. Secondly, look around again and realize that. Look at the signs around you pointing to newness. And one way that we can do that is take a look back maybe 5-10 years ago, or look back to the most influential time where you understood that you were having this difficulty, that you were going through this difficult time of testing, right? Just think back to something that reminds you of that. And now look around and see how different it looks. Look within and see how different you feel, right? And then when you realize that, when you awaken to that fact, now it's deciding, okay, so what's next? Let's figure out what is next. What is the next move forward? That's what the Judgment and the Awakening card represents. It represents making a concrete decision about something. And in this case, it's how are we going to move forward? What's the next step? Okay. And what Spirit is saying, I've pulled out the Four of Materials, the Star, and the Seven of Inspiration, which is the Seven of Wands. So I feel like Spirit is definitely saying, once you realize what it is that you have, what it is that you are being given, or what it is that you have been given, guard it. Understand the value of what you have, right? Everybody has not been afforded the same privileges that you have. Once you realize that, guard it. Guard it. Okay? You see the camel here? And camels represent longevity, right? It represents being able to sustain long periods of time with very little, right? Which you've done that already. You've come through that already. And that proves your resilience, right? But now that you've come through that, now that you know what you're capable of, and you have proven, and now that you have an understanding of your strength and your power, guard it. Understand the value of the oil. There is a price for that, a heavy price, and you need to guard it, okay? Be led. Allow yourself to do the healing, continuous healing, right? Yes, we've come a long way, but we're still working on some things. And the Star says that there's healing that we're doing. Even now, there's healing taking place. Even now, as you're watching this video, there's guidance that's being given around that healing, around leading you to a place that feels a lot like the idyllic times, the garden, the paradise, where you will consistently be able to access and be replenished and go within and reconcile any type of internal conflict so that you can be renewed over and over and over again, right? Understand that. That is available to you, and it is a tool that Spirit has given you to move forward. That's the next step, is understanding the importance of this place, okay? And then the Seven of Inspiration, which is again having courage. On one hand is guarding what you have, right? Being placed in a position or having made it almost like you're standing on a hill and your light is shining so bright that, you know, things may be coming trying to take that light, but you have to guard it. Stand in defense and guard what you have or what you've worked for, what you've achieved. And also understand the courage that you are being called to. There's a level of courage to walk in this light. And so moving forward, the next steps is that exactly. Understanding the value that you have, the necessity to keep healing. Understand that you're not done, right? There's more to experience. There's more to do, right? There's more climbing. And so part of that is positioning yourself consistently to receive. And then lastly, be courageous and guard what you have. Yeah. Now let's look forward. We have the Three of Pentacles, the Ten of Voices, the Ace of Inspiration. Let's get one more. So I feel like as we look towards future, the potential future outcomes, we're looking at, or future potential and processes as we move forward. The Three of Pentacles is pointing to work, right? And the Ten of Swords and the Ace of Inspiration, I feel like Spirit is pointing to this process that you may very well be familiar with. It's almost like iron sharpens iron, right? Like being in a position where you will be engaging experiences and engaging processes that will keep you, kind of like keep you moving forward. And at times, Spirit is saying as you move forward, there will be processes that will come in and make things uncomfortable so that you will continue moving forward, right? The Three of Pentacles, the Ten of Swords, and the Ace of Inspiration, the Ace of Wands. And this is going to be kind of like a process that you may get used to going through and you may become very familiar with, you know, and it's like, oh, okay, it's just getting a little uncomfortable. That means it's time to grow. That means it's time to keep moving forward. And I feel like Spirit may actually be using some of you as agents of change in that way. And you will be purposed to be placed in situations, I feel like, but as we all are, you know, but you'll be placed in situations for a specific amount of time to do something. And once that is fulfilled, then you move on to something else. You know, it almost feels like that. And so moving forward, Spirit is definitely letting you know it's going to be a continuous moving forward, right? So don't get comfortable because it's going to be a continuous growing, right? At least from where you are now. There may be a time where Spirit will plant you somewhere and say, okay, well, you're going to be here for a minute, or this is where you're supposed to be, so stay right there. But right now, what I'm feeling is you're being placed with people for a specific purpose. And I feel like that purpose is to bring change, to make things uncomfortable, and to bring in new insights, to bring in awakening. You know, your being placed with people is very important. Though there are going to be benefits and perks along the way, you know, but there is a purpose behind your life, is what Spirit is saying here. And that's kind of like what I'm feeling is the process is going to be for you. Let's see. I want to go ahead and end it here. Let's see. I hope you're enjoying this reading. If you are, go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Like, share, comment. If it is resonating, feel free to let me know how it resonates. Thank you for those who have commented so far. I do appreciate you very much. It is inspiring when people comment, and I don't take it lightly, you know. And so thank you so much. All right, and so as I look at the outcome from this perspective, this point of view, what I have is a very high level of energy. I have the Queen of Wands. I have the Knight of Pentacles. I have the Queen of Emotions, and I have the Hierophant. So the outcome, like when it's all said and done, I think the desire that Spirit has is that you would be very, it's almost like being used as a vessel to draw in for the sake of healing. For the sake of learning even. Some of you may even be, you know, healers, teachers, you know, whatever it is that you do to improve the condition of humanity would fall under this guise. You know, the Queen of Inspiration is very inspirational, very attractive, right? But it's drawing people in towards healing. It's drawing people in for a higher level of awareness and consciousness. And then we have the Queen of Cups, which is very nurturing. You know, she's the person you go to when you're having difficulty. She's trustworthy. She's open and receiving. And she gets a level of fulfillment out of meeting, you know, the needs of those around her, right? She's plugged in for that particular purpose, you know. And so this is what has been purpose for the giftings that she has. And then the Knight of Pentacles is kind of like shaman energy. You know, it's almost like that nature connected energy that brings in a heavy level of healing with different modalities and with and I don't know why Spirit is bringing in animal totems, you know, but it's delving into different types of modes of healing. And then leading into the Hierophant, which is the same, but that could even be a larger global level of spirituality, right? In all different forms. It's a level of leadership, you know, holding the keys to the kingdom, being the very conduit, you know, one who speaks for the divine, and being like this instrumental position between heaven and earth, you know. And so it's very interesting, the energy, very heavy, beautiful energy, very purpose driven though. beautiful, but purpose driven. And so this is where all of this is leading. What you've been through, you know, where you are right now, it is all culminating to actually lead you to operate deeply within the purpose that you've been given. And so being that this came out, I feel like someone is very much in line with where they should be right now. And it feels really, aligned to me, like you're right on track. This may be your confirmation. If you have questions about, you know, what next, Spirit may, you know, be letting you know that you're right on target and right on track, right? The next thing is just allowing yourself to be led, staying tapped in, positioning for yourself to be able to continue to be poured into, and guarding what you've already received, what you already know to be true for you. Okay? Lastly, I do want to just tap into each sign to see what comes out in regards to this reading, okay? So for each sign, we're going to just pull one card and see what Spirit would have to say. And we're going to start with our air signs. So let's start with Libra. So for Libra, please and thank you, Spirit. So Libra, with the Six of Voices, I feel like you could possibly be in a position right now where Spirit could be directing you to move away from something. It could be someone. There could be someone that you are moving away from. I know with the idyllic times we did talk about possibly moving, like you could be actually moving to a whole new location. This could be emotionally moving away from something that's no longer giving you the sense of peace that you need to move forward. If you're identifying with this reading, Spirit could be moving you. That could be physical, that could be spiritual, that could be emotional, okay? But moving to a more peaceful state of being is what I'm getting for you, Libra. In order for this to actually, you know, allow you to benefit from what's happening here, and to move closer into alignment. And lastly, Libra, I hear Spirit saying just to try to steer clear from anything that would try to divert you from forward movement. Anything that doesn't say peace, we're moving away from it, okay? And that's for you, Libra. Next energy, Gemini. Gemini, I have the Two of Swords here. And so there could be possible ways where Spirit is calling you right now to actually stand in your power, to stand in your truth. There could be decisions that are on the brink of being made by you that really possibly needs a little bit more gusto, a little bit more courage, right? Not fearing the outcome, but looking more to what needs to happen. What is it that you feel really needs to happen as you move forward, and then making the decisions based on that. Not on the fear, but on the hope of what it is that you are expecting. Okay, Gemini, because Two of Voices talks about possibly not wanting to see certain things. But sometimes we need to really take off the blinders and allow ourselves to see it clearly, because that's what's going to help us make the very best decision that we need to make. Not according to avoiding discomfort, but it's according to really landing in a place of where we need to be so that we don't find ourselves continuously going through cycles over and over unnecessarily, right? And so there's decisions that you may be making that's going to really need for you to take a look at the whole picture and acknowledge some things while making those decisions. Okay, Gemini. And then we have Aquarius. All right, we have the Knight of Inspirations for Aquarius. And Aquarius, I feel like you're carrying really good energy right now. I feel like this could possibly be you on the other side of this. If you have come through a difficult time, it's realizing that you've come through it and it's forward from here. I really like the Knight of Inspirations energy because it's inspirational and it's moving. It's not really, second guessing and trying to figure things out, but it's just, you know what, let's just go and letting things kind of fall where they may, right? It's really good energy. And so, yeah, I feel like Spirit is just telling you, yeah, you're on the right track. So just keep going. Just keep going and let things work themselves out on the way. Whenever there's a need for clarity, Spirit will let you know. Whenever there's a need to slow down and kind of find out what's happening around you, Spirit will let you know. If you just make sure that you stay in your meditative practices and stay open to listening. Right now, Spirit is just saying, go. Keep moving, right? You're on the other side of this. Now it's go time, okay? That's for you, Aquarius. And let's go ahead and go into the fire signs. I'm going to tap in for Leo. Ooh, Tower. And so, Leo, there could definitely be some things happening right now outside of your control. Maybe things aren't falling the way that you desire. It could be causing a level of discomfort right now. And this could very well be that breaking point of crossing through that threshold of getting to the other side. And so right now, this is that time where you could very well be tempted to say, you know what, this is too much. I don't want to do this anymore, right? But Spirit is saying to keep going. This is your breakthrough moment. When the Tower hits, that's when the clock strikes 12, and that's a very pivotal time. And yes, it does feel like things are just kind of out of control and you don't have a lot of control over what's happening, but sometimes that's the perfect place to be. Because when Spirit is in control, you always know that things are going to work out for your very highest good. When you're in control, it's like, it could, but it could not. But Spirit is in control. And so no matter how it feels right now, understand that it's actually working for your highest good. So I hear Spirit saying for you to trust in this moment and don't stop, but keep going and push your way through. You're on the precipice of your breakthrough. Okay, Leo, that's for you. The Tower moment. It may feel very out of control, but this is actually the best place that you could be right now, Leo. Okay? All right, for Aries. 6 of Emotions. So this could actually go either way. For some of you, this could be possibly the pulling back into the past, things of the past. But it's how we interpret that, which makes it good or bad. If it's something that is triggering you and trying to pull you back, if it's things that's trying to pull you back into an old energy or an old mindset, it's something that needs to be cleansed and something that needs to be released. Or the way that you think about it may need to be shifted as well. On the other hand, if this is something that is coming back around, which it could be so in both cases, you could be on both sides of this equation. It's something that's coming back around because it's still there and it's still functioning subconsciously, causing blocks or causing doubt or, causing stagnancy. It's coming back up so that it can be cleansed, so that it can be healed, right? And so for you, Aries, there may be a level of familiarity that you're experiencing. And depending on how that's coming through may depend on how you need to respond to it. Either way, I feel like things come back up, especially if it has a challenging, if you have a challenging response to it. It may be something that absolutely needs to be healed, or it could be something that needs to be released. It could also be something that Spirit is bringing back up just to remind you of your strength and what you've come through. It depends on how you're responding to it when it comes up, will determine what needs to happen or how you need to handle that thing from the past. But I feel like something from the past could be resurfacing. And whatever this is it's a very important, it's something that needs to be recognized, whatever this is. It could be something happening subconsciously that Spirit is bringing up and putting in front of your face so that you can't miss it, so that you can see it. It could be the slight of a moment where you see something and it just strikes a memory all of a sudden. And then all of a sudden, all these other feelings come forward when you see that and those memories come up. Well, it's coming up so that you can acknowledge it and address it, right? And if nothing else, reframe your mind around it and understand that whatever that was, definitely had a specific purpose in why it happened, okay? But Six of Emotions feels like something attached to your memory that could be coming up and stimulating all of these senses within you, okay? But it feels healing for me. Sagittarius. All right, we have the Chariot for you, Saggy. And so, Saggy, I feel like you are at the forefront of this movement. I feel like you are taking the bull by the horn and you are leading the charge. I also feel a heavy level of kind of like this response to you leading the charge, right? It's almost like the waves, how the waves come in on the ocean. Just when you think the wave has come in and you can kind of relax, here comes like the repercussion of the wave, It's almost like everything that you do has some type of it has some type of consequence. But I don't get that it's a bad consequence. I think it's a good consequence. And so it's almost like your leading, your position, your leadership and your charge is actually pulling this great action or this great reaction to come forward behind you, right? So it feels like really good energy. I feel like you're taking advantage of the position that you're in and using that to possibly influence those around you. And it feels like you're deep diving within yourself to pull out that resource that lies within you. And it's having a beautiful response in the world with those around you. So keep doing what you're doing, Saggy. It feels really good. The Chariot. Taking control. I like that. Let's go ahead and go to our water signs. Pisces. Ooh, we have the 10 of Swords for Pisces. And so Pisces, this may in fact be one of those times where things feel, definitely feel very uncomfortable, right? The 10 of Swords actually came out in the process of staying in this position of having to move forward, not being able to get too comfortable because you have more to do. It feels like that kind of energy. And so Pisces, you may in fact be in the middle of like an awakening. That awakening may in fact be around unfavorable circumstances. However, really it doesn't matter how the awakening comes about as long as it happens. Right? And so it may feel like you're in a crushing time, and I'm hearing the crushing of grapes, right, is what produces the wine, right? It's part of the process. It's the crushing of grapes. But the outcome is what we're trying for, is what we're getting at, is what we're looking for. And so right now there could be lots of lessons being learned with what you're experiencing. Nevertheless, it's still about this process of bringing you to a place where you're operating and you're realizing and you are very aware and connected, right? And so things may seem a little bit tense right now, but I hear Spirit saying, trust the process, Pisces. You'll understand a little later on. Trust the process. Just don't stop, okay? Let's do Cancer. All right, Page of Emotions for Cancer. And so Cancer, I feel like right now there could be different choices that you have. I feel like you stand before a place that holds different paths before you, right? It's almost like you're in a position where you're trying to decide how you can move forward. But I don't feel like there is a wrong path. I think there's just choices. And so right now you stand in a place where you're trying to decide what is going to be the right choice or the right path. Like, which door will you walk through? I can't help but look at it's like a portal in the middle of her solar plexus chakra, which is our place of power, right? And so there could be many doors that have been open to you, and you could very well be standing before them trying to decide which one you want to walk through. It really feels like a moment of deliberation with you, Pisces. And each one of these doors may in fact represent a new experience, a new part of your journey. And so, yeah, it feels very, it's almost like the energy of unsureness. And I feel like you could be very well tapping into your heart right now, trying to decide like what would be the right choice. The heart space is very lit up. And so you're very much tapped into your heart right now, Cancer, as you're deciding some very important, crucial, pivotal decisions on how you'll move forward. I can't help but think Spirit is bringing my attention to these fish. Many fish in the sea is coming up. Many fish in the sea. That may be significant. I don't know. All right. Next we have Scorpio. Two of materials. So Scorpio, I feel like you could be very busy. When I say busy, like you could be, handling more than one thing at the same time, possibly multitasking in life right now. But I do hear Spirit saying, yes, you have lots to do. Yes, you could have several different, obligations that you need to meet. Even in that, the importance of that is finding time still to make sure that you're connecting to the main obligation, right? You too are a part of this. And in all that we need to do, it is up to us to make time for what's truly important. See, the Two of Materials has the potential to become burnt out, right? I said multitasking and juggling, right? And so that's what we want to avoid. And one of the main ways to do that is to prioritize. And at the top of that priority list should be you. It should be that garden, that paradise, finding that sacred space to keep your life in balance. And so I feel Spirit saying that for you, Scorpio, right now. Yes, I know you have lots to do, but make sure you make time. For whoever this is resonating, you could be burnt out or close to it. Spirit is saying, pull back, reprioritize, make the first things first. You won't regret it, okay? Because, there's the jack of all trades, but the master of none. Okay? That's what I'm hearing. If you get it, you get it, okay? And so I'm moving on. Let's go ahead and go into our earth signs. So Capricorn, 5 of inspirations. So Capricorn, I feel like you could be definitely noticing and trying to address different aspects of yourself. As you see the many different facets of who she is in this picture. And it's almost like trying to decide like which one am I going to choose, and this could be a moment of just really trying to settle into who it is or what it is that's most important to you right now. And I'm going to tell you where you're going to find that. You're going to find that in that quiet place, in that place of meditation, right? And it's not even something that we need to find. It's just something that we accept. It naturally settles in and it just becomes. Right? And it's in the trying to decide and find that we get a little bit overwhelmed and a little bit scattered, right? There's a change that's happening, but allow it to just settle in and find you. And then you just receive it, right? It really is a calming feeling when you come into yourself. If it feels scattered, then you may be doing too much, right? And so that's the time to settle into meditation or go out into nature, or go find your zen, go find your paradise or your garden so that you can become one spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally. Right? There's a settling, I feel like, with you, Capricorn. that would serve you so beautifully. Just settle in it. It's okay. I've been there and probably going to be there again tomorrow. We always need reminders, but just allow it to come to you, and it will. It will. And then once that happens, you just get right back on track, or you pick right back up where you need to be, and right, it's right back to where you need to be. But it almost feels like with the Five of Wands, there's like this over stimulation, almost. It's like the energy, just come on back, come on down, Capricorn, right? Yeah, just allow it to settle in, okay? Woosa. And so Capricorn, the Five of Inspirations, there may be a need to go out and go into nature for like a day. Turn off your phone and just settle. That's the best way I could put that. Just settle, right? And then let's do Taurus, the Ace of Pentacles. So this is pointing to a new beginning as it pertains to, it could have something to do with health, or how you're looking at your health in life. It could also have something to do with work, how you decide to pull in a level of stability for you. The Ace represents, you know, this new beginning. And it's a good new beginning that Spirit is giving you, and you can take it as far as you want to take it. That other end of this beginning is open-ended, right? It's up to you on how far you want to take this. But it's good energy. It's a new start in some type of way that you've been given, right? It's a new start. And so with this new start, I would say just make sure that you're making, you know, a list of what's important so that you can keep a good balance with this new start. If it's work-related things or bringing in a level of stability for yourself, that may look like making sure that you are taking time to yourself and not just pouring all of your energy into work. But understanding that it's a balance. Success is a balance. Because what good is it to make all this money or get all this success, but you're so tired that you can't enjoy it, right? And so I hear Spirit saying, as you start this new beginning, whatever this is, I feel like it could definitely be around, for some of you, it could be spiritual work. It could be transforming your work situation from a 9 to 5 over to something a little bit more around something that you control, something more in your sovereignty. You know, you'll be running things for yourself. It could be something like that as it pertains to bringing instability for yourself. And Spirit is saying, include yourself in that, the way that you structure that, and make sure that you prioritize. Because sometimes our success is dependent upon what's at the root of what's driving us. And if it is indeed a spiritual business, spirituality there needs to be a core at the center of that. That's a message for me. There needs to be a core at the center of that, Taurus. And so, and if it's healing, if it's something to do with your physical existence, finding balance in that. It doesn't always have to be all vegetables, right? You can have a day where you go and, you know, have a glass of wine if that's what you enjoy. It shouldn't be every day, not in excess, right? But a balance, you know, to this new way, this new beginning, like started off balanced. But as it pertains to the calling that we're talking about, this could be, you know, deciding to really pull in the physical aspects into how you perceive what you've been called to do. It's aligning the physical part of our lifestyle with the spiritual aspects of our being. So there's a new start here for you, Taurus. Whatever that is, Spirit is giving you a new start. And it could be healing. Make sure that you ensure putting things in place so that you don't fall back into old patterns that landed you into that place where you needed to be healed from. I'm hearing that as well, right? It's all about balance with this new beginning, Taurus. And lastly, Spirit is saying, Virgo, 4 of emotions. Ooh, very interesting. So for you, Virgo, I'm feeling like I'm hearing holding out for the big one, right? And so for some of you, there's something that you're rejecting. Like you have a standard that you're holding up to. And you're not taking anything other than what that is that you've decided you're worthy of, or that you've earned and worked for. And you're not taking anything less. As a matter of fact, if you have to be okay with the 3 cups that you have, you're willing to do that. But you're not willing to compromise where it is that you've set your goal. Now, this could be in terms of wanting to do something that you love. This could be in terms of connections. But I feel like whatever this is really important to you. This is something foundational to who you are, to what you believe. You're standing and you're holding out until you get what it is that you feel like you're worthy of. And it's almost like I'm hearing, I didn't come all this way just to go back to what it is that, you know, I've already left behind or I've already experienced. Like someone's wanting more. Someone's wanting to experience more. Someone believes there's more out there to experience. And so, yeah, that's beautiful. 4 of materials coming underneath that. The Knight of what you know, you already know. And so I feel like you're right where you need to be. And hold your standards high, Virgo. Don't lower them. Keep them high. Whether that's concerning what you love to do, right? Your project, hobbies, maybe you're looking for someone to come in and do some work for you, but you haven't found someone up to par, up to your standards. Everybody is telling you that you're too, like your expectations are idealistic and they're not realistic, but you know what you want. And you can visualize the expectations of what it is that you desire, and you're not settling for less. I'm getting that. Yeah, there's somebody that can meet your expectations. Yes, there is. And so hold your standards high. I don't see anything wrong with this. And for those of you that are holding back a part of yourself because you haven't found anything worthy of, sharing that part of yourself with, or whatever it is that you have to offer, right? It's almost like I don't just consort with anything, right? There has to be a level of integrity there. Yes. With this Knight of Voices, there's a lot of clarity around that. And no, you're not just tripping, and you're not like expecting too much. Whatever this is, it could be something other than that, but it's around your expectations around something that you desire, that you need, and you haven't been able to find it. And so you've been holding out and waiting. It's coming, right? You put the expectation out there and it's coming. And just like when you go to a restaurant and they have what's on the menu, and they probably have a lot of that prepped in the back, but you don't want what's on the menu. You want something different. You want something special. And so it means that they have to go back there and prepare it fresh, which is going to take a little bit longer than everyone else's meal because theirs was pre-prepped. Well, you have to wait a little bit longer because your desire is a little bit special, right? Spirit is saying, be willing to wait because you know exactly what you want with this Knight of Swords. You know exactly what you want, Virgo. And because you know what you want, you will have it. It'll come eventually. So don't give up, okay? On the bottom, I have the Three of Inspiration for everybody. This is about expansion. This is about moving to the next level. This is about upping the game, and so that's what I have for you guys. We're an hour and a half in. I do appreciate you stopping to take a listen. I hope something here was helpful and that it resonated. Again, if it resonated, go ahead and send me a comment letting me know. Go ahead and you can share it. If you are desiring a personal read, please, please, please go over to my calendar and schedule, okay? I'll be happy to get with you. All righty. Thank you again for stopping by. Again, my name is Leticia. It has been a pleasure reading for you all again. I love you. I love you. I love you. And until next time, take care of yourselves and reach, and you will obtain, okay? Till next time, bye.